I'll quickly say, boys, I think we're all on the same page, but we're not. You know what I mean? I think we have the same basic understandings and everything. We all want the same thing, kind of thing.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, I agree. We're on the same page. There's just differences in ideologies, but they're all semantic.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, the only thing that matters is, do you want this country to be 100% white? That's all I need to know from everyone. What's the answer? Do you want this country to be 100% white?
I want the country to be at least 95% white. At least.
And what, the other 5% are slaves, yeah?
Yeah, the other 5% is the cream of the crop, absolute best people from the world that might want to come here, and preferably, obviously, if it comes to the refugee situation, which I'm not a fan of, but if it does happen, preferably it's actually women and children, you know what I mean, and not men.
No, but in the prime situation, would you not rather have this country 100% just us, and then it's safe for our children? Because the thing is, if you are 5%, of nons, chances are kids are still not going to be safe in certain areas, because that's what these people are. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, I'd probably say somewhere 98, 99%.
Why 99%? Why 100%?
Because I think there should still be an option,
No.
Let's just say, someone is very economically successful and they want to move their business headquarters over here and they want a house here and stuff. They should be able to have residency, in my opinion. But controlling the genetic admixture of the population is of utmost importance. You know what I mean?
I'll let you on, because that's the Christianity coming out here. Do you know what I mean?
Can I answer next? Right, I was thinking about this today, I literally thought about it, right? I think the idea of it being 100% white, the obvious answer is yeah, you know what I mean? But then you think about it, we had an argument with someone else on another live. It's about this idea of creating a utopia where you live race-free and you're happy with this racism doesn't exist kind of thing. That's exactly what the migrants want. It's exactly what the boat people are coming from. Look how, you know what I mean? Look how
let's
much
be honest, no one was that concerned with migration 20 years ago. I mean, there was a few, but it wasn't as much as an issue as it is now. What I'm saying, now we're seeing the consequences of it on mass scale.
Yeah, mate, listen.
We were born in people in the 60s and 70s.
Boys, let me finish. So I started thinking about it today, and I thought, surely we don't want that, because they'll probably send us all a bit deluded like the Americans, and we'll start going transgender and that. If we have to, do you know what I mean? That too much idea of utopia, everything's perfect, we need something different kind of thing. So I started thinking about it, and I started thinking I was walking down a street in town, and I noticed it was I was counting the shops, and I noticed how it was 80% foreign, literally 2 shops that was English. And I thought maybe if it was the other way around, it was 20% English and 80% English and 20% foreign, then it'd be a better place. But then it made me think, if it was 20% foreign, they wouldn't even integrate, they'd just stick in their own roots anyway. You just have do you understand what I mean? What they do?
Yeah, this is why you should support communities. I'm of the opinion, I would like to be able to go and live in another country for a while, if I so pleased to do so. I wouldn't expect any welfare or benefits from their system. You know what I mean?
The full experience of living in a different country, yeah.
Yeah.
I've lived in other countries. My plan is to get back there temporarily, though, because I always see England as my home.
Yeah.
But I've lived in other countries, and when I do live in other countries, that's like another country in it. But when I am proud of being English. I'm still English. I just opting for a different country temporarily.
Why not?
I've just turned down a big money move from Australia. So the missus weren't fully happy. But yeah, just because I still believe in my country and stuff.
The way I see it, I think people should only ever move to other white European countries. I don't believe that we should move abroad outside of Europe or all like that, mate. It just doesn't make sense. And like, I'll never move anyway because I'm staying here to be a soldier for my race. Because the fact is, I know for a fact that there is no political solution. In the next 5 years, it's going to be total war. Yeah, whether you like it or not, mate, that is the plan. That's the plan of the elites that are flooding our country with these animals. And that's the only solution.
You've only got to realise as well, yeah, that if Reform win the next election, yeah, and all of these people are going to start kicking off.
Who the left is? The leftists can't run it back, mate.
There's going to be a mob war.
I'm talking a certain religion.
Yeah, if there's not a political solution, it needs to happen kind of fast, because even by the time we get to the next government, there's still going to be like, what, 100,000 new people at least that have come in between that time.
Or 1 million.
Lead by America's example, Donald Trump, and all the countries that these refugees have come from. Say we funded all your people for your fucking cock-ups, all your wars and that. You owe us this.
Darwin, you know that Biden deported more people than Trump has. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, but
I don't like to say I don't
done. I get what you're saying, but Trump's term ain't done. But I don't think look to America. I don't think. Sometimes I also think as well, it's not just an England problem. This is a Europe.
Exactly. You can say Joe Biden's
there. What I'm saying?
He had 4 years. Trump hasn't even been a year yet.
There's no
America, yeah, and he compared the numbers, mate. He compared the numbers, yeah, and Biden literally did more than Trump with the numbers. The thing is, the only thing that Trump's doing, yeah, is deporting the criminals and random Mexicans that have been there for like 30 years. Do you know what I mean? He's not doing what he should have done. He said it was going to be the biggest deportation.
Yeah.
The thing is, he said it was going to be the biggest deportation program ever done, and it isn't. Yeah, and it's the same as what Reform's going to be. Big promises, little gain.
It's a joke. Obama
I think it's easy done, mate. And I've heard, and like...
Starving. Wait.
In the migrant hotels. In the migrant hotels, they're all fighting amongst each other. All the races are fighting against each other now in the migrant hotels. They've all had enough. They're all losing the Reds and that.
Yeah, Uncle Ed, say what you were going to say. Uncle Ed.
I was just going to say that Barack Obama averaged twice as many deportations a day as Trump had, and that's sad. That's a joke. Like, Trump's averaging about 1,000 a day, and Obama averaged about 2,000 a day. A Democrat should never have higher deportation numbers than a Republican.
Can I just quickly ask? So obviously you're American. Whereabouts in America is it, and what's the situation? Is there any like chance of that progressing, or is that just obviously
the situation?
Where in Britain watching?
It looks pretty dire right now. I think they said by 2045, white people are going to be a minority, slated to be. So, America sucks right now. I have the great fortune of living in a small town that's about 99% white population. But anytime I venture out into the city or to go shopping, it's ugly.
Yeah, and America got a lot more migration history than Britain does. Does that make sense? So you, in like theory, you'd be more experienced with migration. Does that make sense?
Right, real quickly as well, I've got some stats up here. Trump has deported 3.13 million people. Biden has deported 4.4 million, and Obama has deported 1.18 million. So someone's fibbing.
But don't forget, Biden let millions of them across the Texas border just before we got booted out of office.
Yeah, but there's loads of things you can take into account. Like, Trump's got a lot more people to deport. He's got a lot more bigger situation. The eyes are on this human rights situation. Who's going to be the one who leads the way and say, look, Do you know what I mean? The eyes are on. This is the problem with Italy.
Where did you get them stats from?
I'll just Google it. First one I've seen, it's WWE.
Google is known as Jugal.
Google's not the most reliable, but there will be some truth somewhere along the line.
Go on the Brave or DuckDuckGo.
I'm scrolling through and I'm still seeing the same numbers.
It's best to ask the Americans. And I say, if you want to know what's going on in America, just ask an American.
Yeah.
Let the American come back.
I talk to
No
a lot
offense.
of Americans, mate, yeah, and they all tell me that Trump is doing shit. He's doing naff all, mate. He's doing worse than Biden and
Right.
Obama.
That's
I just
interesting.
think yeah.
But I do believe just let the American. If you
The
want
only
to know
thing I
what's
don't
going
like
on in
about Trump
America,
is the fact that
ask
he
an
kissed
American.
that Israel wall. But I mean, he seems like a better candidate than if bro. I feel like even though the Israelis wanted Kamala to win, it's like, bro, Kamala
Doesn't want to be celebrity.
well, it would have been worse. There would have at least like there would have still been like women. I mean, men and women sports, things like that.
Yeah, but
Like-
the Israelis wanted Trump to win.
Hold on.
They were selling the little tiny hats saying Trump 2024 or 2025.
Yeah, Trump did win. So are the Trump supporters not supporting Trump anymore in America? Is that what's going on? Or they're still behind him or what?
Well,
Let the Americans speak.
Oh, wait. Hold up real quick.
Are Trump supporters supporting Trump or
After
not?
what my dog honestly in the box, I'll just go AFK. But I did check that, and even when you Google Trump versus Obama deportation, the top thing is Obama had higher overall. So I don't know where you got this stats from.
Really?
But I'll be
Okay,
right
so
back.
repeat what you said earlier because also my dad had called out to me, so I had to answer him.
Hear what I said earlier?
Sorry, do Trump supporters in America still support Trump or are they? Oh no!
I see a lot of Trump, especially also a lot of ethnic Trump supporters as well. And what I mean by ethnic is, I mean, obviously, I guess what I mean for the past 5 years, what I mean the general consensus would consider. So I guess in this space, I guess I'll say Latin or Black. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you know, like a lot of those type of races, they what's it called? You know, they're still in support of Trump, and it's like, you know, it's nice to see whenever Trump makes makes an executive order to get rid of something that we know is annoying. We know is super annoying, and it's like it feels really good. But at the end of the day, I know that he can't be completely perfect. He probably is still gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's probably still doing weird shit with Israel, but at this point, what fucking president isn't? I mean, we can't be picky and choosy. I mean, like, you know, like, we don't want to be like South Korea that, you know, they impeached 3 or 4 presidents in a row, bro. And it's like, you look at the one that they finally ended up with, of course, he's like some weird ass fucking liberal looking ass dude.
Boys, it's exactly what I said earlier about voting reform, just to introduce that public opinion into the world, you know what I mean? Like, make a statement by, like, the votes, kind of thing. It's just showing
Guys,
that.
listen, I've got to drop, because I've just had a message. I have to go.
All right, mate. All the best.
All right, I'll catch you all later. Total, call me later, yeah?
man.
Yeah.
All right, laters.
Mary, I know you anyway, mate. My mate's Samuel Peter. Oh, he's gone.